In this video, I want to share with you my 2023 notebook system, which consists of a journal, planner, daily log, reading log, and a social media notebook. After a hectic years where I used multiple notebooks throughout 2022, I'm looking for more simplicity in my system to make it easier to fill out and stay on top of updating. Having a large number of notebooks to stay up to date with would easily get difficult, especially anytime I would go a day without touching them, and that would end up with me left with multiple blank pages at the end of the year. And while those blank pages tell a story, it would be nice to have my notebooks completely filled out for 2023. In order to stay with this system throughout the whole year, I have set some key intentions in order to help me. Number one, I want to stay consistent with these notebooks. For me, the more consistent I am with a notebook, the more attached I get as I build a relationship with it. This is important to me as it will help me from switching systems throughout the year. Second, I want to use my stash. This means before making another notebook purchase, I want to make sure I'm looking through my current stash to make sure I don't have something that could work or that I could adapt to make my system work. I want, thirdly, my system to be portable. Since I like to fill in my notebooks in other locations beside my desk, making sure my notebook system allows me to easily move from one place to another is very important. And lastly, I want my system to be concise. This means not having a system with 10 notebooks or multiple large notebooks. I know this doesn't work. While I enjoy spending time in my notebooks, it is not where I want all my free time to go. Having a system with some smaller or thinner notebooks, or just less in general, means that it will take up less time to fill them up, and that means less stress for me throughout the week or day. The main part of my system is my daily journal and my planner. These are what I am using every single day and are what stay consistent from year to year. I always have a journal and a planner, and everything else I consider a supplemental notebook, and those things tend to sometimes change from year to year. For my daily planner, I am using a pocket leuchttrum in black. This has 5mm square grid with 187 pages. To do the writing, I use a Staedtler pigment liner in 05, and then this is an Energel body, but the refill inside is a roller gel pen refill in 03 needle tip. So as you can see, the header is a lot bolder, and then here is the writing, which is quite small since I am writing 2 lines per grid, just because my handwriting is smaller. I tend to use about a page a day, but there are days where I need 2 or 3, and this is the nice thing about this being an undated notebook is if I need more, I can use up as much space as I need. So I've been using this since November 28th because that's when my planner starts as well, and I wanted both to have everything together and be writing them in at the same time. So far, I've noticed that in a month, I use about 40 to 50 pages, which means that I should be done with this one in March. And overall, I should have about 3 of these at the end of the year. I tend to just write whatever I need, whether that's documenting what happened that day, downloading my thoughts on paper, trying to solve something, or a mixture. Really, this is just purely whatever I need it to be. Ideally, I would love to stick with this. I think it would be so cool to just have a stack of these or in a shoebox of all these filled up notebooks even after 2023. But you never know. If I decide I find something that works better for a daily journal. For my planner this year, I am using a Hobonichi Weeks. This is the standard size bunnies edition. I did use one during fall of 2022, which I really loved. So I decided to just continue with it. The pens I am using in here are a Pilot Vanishing Point in Extra Fine, which is filled up with platinum carbon ink in black, as well as a Staedtler liner in 07. This is also blotting paper. This is the brand. This is usually how big it is, but I just cut it down so that it can fit in my notebooks. For the monthly, I like to use these Randy Plans mini icon stickers in order to mark down things. Because this is a small planner, this really helps just catch my eye a lot quicker about what a specific appointment / event is from far away. Up here I do like to write my main goals for the month, and then at the bottom I've picked 2 habits that I really want to focus on during the month to track. For the weekly, I use a pencil to draw out a line. On this side, I write down day-specific events or timed appointments, and then here I write main tasks for the day. There is already a pre-printed line here, and I use this inner column to document anytime I post on social media, just as a way for me to be able to document that type of information. Up here I have just habits that I'm tracking that current week. I don't have consistent ones, but it's really just up to what I want to focus on. And then here I have an inbox, which are non-day specific tasks, and anything that doesn't get done just gets migrated to the following week. Additionally, I would like to note I do use these Midori index clips in silver to help make it easier to flip from page to page. And I really like this weekly layout purely because I am staring at this all week long, which makes it really functional since I'm staring at not only my main task list but also my inbox, instead of a daily where it's only whatever task I've picked out for that day. This used to be a reference page. Since this is a Japanese planner, there are a lot of pages with near the end that have just Japanese words on it, but I don't understand it, so I've just repurposed it to put my vision board for the year. And now we're on to the note pages. What I've decided to use these this year is mainly for monthly dashboards. The way I've done it is I write the top 3 things that are happening that month, or that maybe they're goals that I really want to focus on. Then I have some bigger tasks that I want to happen that take up maybe more than a day or 2. And then what I've done is I've printed off Peanuts Planner Co. Printable inserts in pocket sized on some Tomio River paper and cream, and then just stuck these down. Since it's the beginning of the year, I am trying to work on creating routines for myself, so I decided to use habit trackers in order for me to be able to collect that information and see, are these routines working for me, or do I need to fix something? These definitely do need to be updated, but I also use a digital page called Notion in order to also help myself keep track of these things. The My 100 list is used to keep track of the books I read. I really do enjoy reading, and I read quite a lot a year, and I thought it would be fun to use this page to track that. Currently, I've only read 1 book this year, so it's pretty empty. I do have some extra post-it notes in the back anytime I need to just jot something down. And then I do have one of these little memo pads from Hobonichi Weeks, which are really thin, so I can easily slip it in the back without it adding too much bulk to the system. And now for my supplemental notebooks. The first two notebooks are held in this A5 Hobonichi cover. The first is a Hobonichi Cousin, which I have removed the daily pages from. Originally, I did change a few things to my system, and when I realized that the daily pages were only going to be used as temporary note pages that I would eventually not need to reference anymore, I decided, in order to not bulk up my system, to remove them so that they are now single sheets that I can just use whenever I want. This actually was quite simple to do, and I do have more information on my Instagram about how I did it if you're interested. At the moment, the monthly pages, I don't have a plan yet. I'm still deciding if I want to duplicate my Hobonichi Weeks monthly or if I want to use it for something else. Just to note, I am using the same 2 pens as my Hobonichi Weeks in both of these notebooks. The main thing I'm using this for is a sort of daily log, memory keeper, whichever you want to call it, where I just document what happened that day that I want to remember, sort of the highlights. And I am using, again, the Randy.Plans icon stickers just to kind of highlight the information better, since I am not using colors at the moment. Additionally, I am using her weather stickers as well to mark the weather at the top. This is something new, but I kind of thought it would be fun to see over the years. This is a 24-hour weekly, so I am trying to put things down when they actually happened, but if it goes a little bit over, that's not too big of a deal for me. Second notebook is a Hobonichi Day Free in A5. This is going to be my reading log. The main reason why I wanted this notebook was that it was purely just a monthly and then just note pages. I wanted a monthly to be able to see on a calendar when I started books. Once again, I only have one book for the month, so it's pretty bare. But I think I would like to use this in our column to track more things like how many pages I read that month, maybe a TBR, some of my favorite books or quotes, as well as potentially adding quotes in like up here or at the bottom is something to consider. And this is what an entry looks like. Because the grid size is pretty small, I can fit 2 entries per page. I don't think I'm going to ever fill up this notebook, but with whatever remaining pages, I can always document more information like quotes, pages read, things like that. I do use this Hobonichi stencil for the stars to be able to do a star rating. The way I have this set up is on the left hand side, I have more information. So like the title, the author, date read, pages, and a little synopsis, while on the right hand I have the star rating and my actual thoughts to the book. This is quite easy to fill out. Maybe takes about 15-20 minutes. So this is very easy to do on the weekend or even day up during a busy week, which I really enjoy. The last notebook, which is also a supplemental notebook, is again in a Hobonichi cover. This time it's A6, and this is my social media notebook. It's an a 6-day free notebook. So once again, it has a calendar where I plan to mark down when I would like to post something, just to kind of have an idea also for in the future of how often am I posting. This is important to me, as one of my goals this year is to be more active on my Instagram and to start a YouTube channel. And then the notes pages can just be used as that. Notes pages for whatever I want to jot down, ideas, potential scripts, task lists, just whatever I need. And once again, I'm using the same pens as my hobonichi weeks. Overall, my supplemental notebooks are here to support my main notebooks. While I do obviously want to fill these out as well, these will be my priority on a daily basis, which is why it was really important to me that these were something that I could just keep up with during the weekend, or only take a few minutes out of my day to fill out, so that already they aren't taking so much time that they impair me from filling these out first. And I would say the reason that the system works for me so far is because it feels simple enough that if I miss a day filling out my notebooks, I don't feel stressed or like I'm falling behind. And this simplicity is what allows me to stay up to date, which is why I've been so consistent for January and hopefully the rest of the year.